Good morning, everybody. I have a gorgeous Lake Superior stone here, and I'm just going to sketch on a papery poppy. I love poppies. I love their petals. I love how they look like that crepe paper. Is that what it's called? Oh, what's it called? I don't know. My mom used to decorate our house with this wrinkly paper at Christmas time. She would like twirl it and then like pin it up to the ceiling and stuff. I forget what it's called, but yeah, it reminds me of poppy petals. It's wrinkly paper. So what I'm going to do is, now that I've sketched on with pencil how I want my poppy to look, I am filling it in with white because that is going to be used as our primer. It's just white matte acrylic paint, but it's kind of like priming your background, priming your walls before you put the color that you've chosen. I'm priming this white because the stone looks kind of light. It's lighter than a lot of the stones that I paint on, actually. But once I seal this, it's going to darken slightly. There's even a little bit of green in this stone that is going to come out. You're going to see that as well. And I'm sorry if I sound like I have a bit of a cold. I do. It's the season of my child being in grade 5 and bringing home every virus that he can find. I feel okay, but I know there's definitely something starting because he's got something already starting. He's been like stuffy sinuses, a little bit of coughing at night. So yeah, it has begun. 'Tis the season for flus and viruses. Yeah. So instead of just painting it on, I don't want too many brush strokes here. So I'm actually using a blending brush to kind of sponge on the primer. I'm going to keep referring it to because it leaves us with a nice white canvas to work on, and the colors will stand out much, much more. So I'm sponging out as much as I can of the brush strokes, but it's really okay on the leaves. So now that that has dried slightly, I'm outlining all the parts of the poppy, including the stem, with gold. That will also be outlined with black when we're completely done. You might see me outline more than once. Depending on how I'm working on it, I sometimes lose that line and I bring it back. So just to clean everything up at the very end, I usually re-outline the gold and outline the black. So let's get some color on this nice bright white canvas that we have. I'm starting with apple red, and I've outlined, I'm just going to do it in sections. So I've outlined it on the inside of the gold with that apple red, and I'm using a blending brush to sponge it out. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of white to the edges, just a little bit, just to kind of highlight the tips of the petal. And I'm going to darken the inside with berry wine, which is what I just showed you there. It's like a dark wine color. And I'm just kind of shading in there with that color. So closer to the base of the poppy is going to be that dark red. And then it'll gradually turn into that apple red. And then up at the tips of the petal is kind of frosted with white. Then I'm going to bring these little white lines and drag them down very carefully, like little hairs. And I'm going to do that to all of the petals individually, depending on which way the petals are shaped or where they're flowing from, where they're curved. That depends on where you want to put your little hairs on the tips of the petal. So just keep an eye on that. But once again, the base of the petal is darker So I'm using that berry wine, and then I gradually bring it up to that apple red color. And you got to work fast with acrylic paint because it dries quickly and it doesn't blend easily once it starts drying. So it is probably best if you're new at blending with acrylic paint to try and do one petal at a time. I'm getting brave here and I'm working on all three at the same time. I just kind of did one color at a time instead. So I started with that berry wine and now I'm working with the apple red on all of the petals. So it's up to you how you want to do it. I've had a little bit more practice with this blending on acrylic paint, so I know how fast I have to work. But definitely blends a lot easier if the paint is wet. Now, if it dries on you and it's not really blending at all, just start over. Put some berry wine down there and then put some apple red up there and start blending right away again. It's not going to hurt anything to just start over. So I'm frosting all the edges with a little bit of white paint as well. And I'm going to try and blend that so it's kind of smooth, like a smoother transition from the bright white to that red right there. That's just a lot of blending. And then I'm adding the little hairs that kind of make it look like it's crinkled. That's what I'm going for. It might not be working for you. You can do your wrinkles however you want. How about that? Now I'm going to use some dark green, some thicket green in the stems. And there's a little poppy bud drooping because they're very heavy. But I'm going to blend in some bright green to the stem. Maybe a little bit of classic green. But basically just kind of darken the upper part of the stem because it's hidden underneath the poppy flower. So it should be shaded right there. Just use your imagination with your shading, with the darker greens and the lighter greens. You do what you want to do. This is just to inspire you, of course. You know how it is here. I have a bunch of videos. They're already painted, already recorded. I just have to edit them. So you're going to be getting a video every other day over the next week. Because right now I have 1, 2, 3, yikes, I might even have 4 separate tutorials for you. That's exciting. And one that's staring at me in the face right now that I have to finish. So, I've been busy. Lots going on. I'm actually going to do a tutorial where I just kind of talk. It's going to be something you've seen me paint before, but it might be fascinating for you to see it again or in a different way. But I'm basically just going to talk so that I can update everybody on some of the stuff that is going on in my life. And some of you like it when I share my personal stuff. Some of you don't, but I'll give you a heads up when it's just a let's just paint and talk kind of video. I'll give you a heads up so that you know whether or not you really want to sit down and listen to it. But you might like the rock that we paint while I'm talking, so you never know. Do me a favor, hit subscribe just in case you have somehow robotically somewhere on the YouTube universe has like unsubscribed some people from my channel. Just hit that subscribe button, make sure you're still subscribed, and then make sure you don't unsubscribe, right? Make sure you're still subscribed after doing that. And then hit the notification bell so that you are alerted every time I post anything. This, of course, will be going into my Etsy shop along with a lot of really gorgeous things. I also made some more paint, some metallic watercolors that shift like crazy. Those will be going into my shop as well. Now, I have dotted in gold, but also with white in that center on top of the black part there. I've outlined everything in gold and outlined it in black. My bud is nice and red and ready to open up. And my name, my signature, is out over on the little corner there, kind of hidden, so you can't really see it right away. I'm going to seal this, and it's going to look absolutely stunning. And you're going to be able to appreciate that Lake Superior background a lot more once you see it sealed with resin. I promise that. And under better lighting than what I currently have at my desk. So I'm just making sure everything looks perfect. Everything's outlined. I'm going to give it a beautiful resin bath, and it's going to soak in that for about 12 hours. So it's safe for me to touch. And then magic of editing, here it is. This is absolutely beautiful. The stone itself, look at the green, like the little speckles of green in that natural beauty. Oh, I just love it. And this, of course, this poppy is to recognize Remembrance Day, which is a Memorial Day here in Canada. And it's to honor the armed forces members who have died in the line of duty. So this rock is for all of you, and we're going to celebrate you on November 11th. Let me know what you think of this in the comments. Say hi, give me some ideas, and I will be seeing you very, very soon with a bunch of really cool videos. Keep painting. I love you. Bye.